Now, prices of petrol, diesel, and liquefied petroleum gas are expected to fall marginally again at the pumps beginning tomorrow, May 16th, for the next 14 days. According to the Institute for Energy Security, this is on the back of a reduction in the prices of finished products on the world market and the stability of the cedi. Energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Sulemana joins me on Zoom to discuss this. Good afternoon to you. What's happening with the global crude oil market? We're hearing the prices fell once again today due to concerns about fuel demand in top global oil consumers. What exactly are the concerns?
Yeah, thank you very much, Darrell. Good afternoon to you and your curious viewers in Ghana and across the globe. Indeed, we are experiencing a bit of volatility within the market. And if you notice, after the banking crisis happened in the US, when the two banks collapsed phenomenally, Silicon Valley Bank and then the signature banks, you notice the commodity market slumped, and that called for OPEC to, take an intervention of announcing the supply cut. Immediately after the announcement of the supply cut, oil market quickly slipped back to, the 80s. However, it didn't hold for some time because the banking system is still in a very shaky grounds. Because as we speak now, over the last few weeks, another bank collapsed in the US, making it like three banks, major banks that went down. And so if these things are happening, it brings a lot of pressures on the market. So that, if you notice that, and alongside with this, we still also have a lot of demand concerns, let's say recession fears within the spheres of US. And so the aggregate of the recession fears and then the shaky nature of the banks within the US at this moment in time has put a lot of downward trend or a lot of pressures on the commodity price, in this case crude oil. Not. In addition to this, that we also have a fact. We also have to bear the fact that the U.S. hasn't relented the effort of increasing their interest rate. And whenever interest rates have in the U.S. begin to take an upward trend, or when this quantitative tightening begin to take a center hold, there's going to be strengthening of the dollar, and the strengthening of the dollar will always have impact on the demand side of the the commodity prices, and this is crude oil. So yes, the aggregate of these factors have put a bit of demand slack, a bit of pressures on the demand. So yes, that's why we're having the crude oil around the 80s, around the 70s as we speak. Even though we have OPEC cut in place, we have a lot of demand distractions, as in about 500,000 barrels of crude oil that was taken away from Iraq. You remember we had some incidents between Iraq and then Turkey, where about 1 million barrels was taken away. So this supply cut, and then about 450 to 500,000 oil or barrels of oil per stream day, about 500,000 barrels of oil per stream day, is still away from the supply basket. Yet the prices are not picking up as we expected. So yes, I think that it will be in the 70s. But if you look at the aggregate of factors that is keeping the price as it is, and the aggregate of factor that is capable of taking the price to the upward trajectory, they seem to compete. And it looks though the recession fears and then the shaking nature of the banking crisis is beginning to take a center toll, on the commodity price, in this case crude oil, as we're speaking. Yeah, Darren.
So for how long do we anticipate prices to decline, and what will be the game plan of the producers?
Yeah, so how long this will take will depend on how the rate at which confidence returns to the financial market, especially the banking sector in US. That's number one. Number two, also, I don't expect this to continue continuously. In fact, I was expecting oil prices to slip back to the 80s. But if I look at what is keeping it now, the pressure that is keeping it now, Darrell, is just the slow demand in China. China has been the record for a force to reckon with in terms of what the commodity sells in the international market. So when there's a bit of demand slack in China, we do have that cascading impact happening in the commodity prices. Yeah, so I expect, if you notice, even today, it began appreciating. We don't know how much it will go. So that's why I'm saying the market is still a bit shaky. We need to give it more time, because these factors are so right. Both the factors in the bullish camp and the factors in the bearish camp, they seem not to compete seriously between themselves or among themselves. So for the banking sector, we need to see that we have a bit of confidence back. So if confidence gets back to the market scene, then I think we'll still will have demand picking up. Another factor that is also in the lurking there is the SPR. If you notice, the SPR has been it could be both a bullish and a bearish momentum within the oil market. If you notice, when the US attempted to bring down gasoline prices, they had to release some phenomenal amount of phenomenal volumes of hydrocarbon product, in this case finished product, into the market. There is about 180 million, and that was so huge. Now US is preparing to buy back this product because that's it's energy security for them, and that's their strategic reserve. So if US begin to buy back this kind of this quantum, or make an attempt to buy back this quantum into the market, we'll likely see a pressure settling on demand again. We'll likely see pressure, demand propping up, and that will actually increase oil prices again. So yes, I still think that we still need to give it time, because these factors could go the other way around. But what is clear is that OPEC will keep on making supply cuts. That has been their weapon, and they will continue to use it. And so if I notice from where I sit, I believe that the demand side, the bullish momentum or sentiment that could propel the oil price to the higher trajectory, they look a bit more stronger. The only thing that could dip oil price, where I see, is recession fears. And so if the banking sector is okay, I think the recession fears aspect will be curtailed. But if you look at the bullish side, what could take the oil price to the higher trajectory, they still look very good, because OPEC is not relenting on any effort. And if China consumption pick up again and SPR big buyback start again, that will bring pressures back on oil. And as we speak now today, oil has started appreciating after about 4 week continuous decline.
I know the news says that LPG is expected to go down, but I guess Ghanaians are particularly worried about the price of LPG at the moment, which is still on the high side. And the marketers are blaming high taxes for the reason for which the prices are still high. Tell us what the situation is on the global market.
Yeah, so if you look at just a couple of weeks, just few weeks, like the last 4 weeks, the commodity in terms of hydrocarbon product have taken decline, have taken downward trends. And that was very good, of course, for the downstream players, such as players in Ghana, as a matter of fact. And LPG is just one of the, LPG is also one of the commodities that is driven from crude oil. So once the raw material begin to take downward trajectory, of course, that is also going to impact that. But if you look at our part, apart from the commodity price, I think the taxes and then the exchange rates have been one of the factors that has contributed to what the consumer pays at the pump. And LPG in particular, I think the taxes, the players have always called on the government to look at the taxes. And they are not that, and I think it's a commendable call that the government has to look at, because if you look at LPG, it is something that we should be thinking about propelling the consumption of that, not taking steps that will dip the consumption of LPG. That is not good. So yes, that is, of course, one of the things that contribute to LPG price as we speak now. But exchange rate, of course, is one of the factors. But if you look at over the last few days or over the last few weeks, we do have a bit of stability in the exchange rate. It's not going up, neither is it coming down also. So, but the bit of stability, of course, is good. Though we would like it to come down, but even if it's stable and it's not coming down, I think that's very good for business plans. So now, if we should have the global oil prices favoring, the global commodities price favoring, I think LPG should see a downward trend. But the trend will go far, far down if government should look at the taxes.
All right, Dr. Yusuf Suleiman, I appreciate your time with us, energy strategist. Thank you so much. Now.